comes off being a psychopath who hasn't got his life together. So this book is kind of meant to be like a redemption arc. I really enjoyed it. Their romance, I couldn't care less. Hi guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today we're looking at my series. So as you guys know, if you've been a subscriber on this channel for a while, my New Year's resolution this year was to get my series down to less than 10 series that I'm in the middle of or I've got the books for. So we have accumulated a total of 49 series this year that we've either started, got the books for, and out of those 49, or there's been new books coming out. So out of those 49 series, we are down to having 15 series left that I've got the books for or I'm in the middle of. Out of those ones, I'm actually only in the middle of 10 series. So I haven't started 5 and I'm in the middle of 10. However, I want to get the total of 15 down to 10 by the end of the year. With that being said, we've got 6 books left on this journey of getting it down to 10. So if for me to be able to get down to 10 series, we have 6 books left to read. And so I thought for the next couple of weeks, a week and a half before I start filming a different reading vlog, we're going to see how many series books I can get through. So the 6 books on our TBR are the second book in the Moonville series, which is... oh, let's have a look. It's called The Folklore of Forever. So that's book 2. That would get us up to date on that series. We have the new Powerless novella, which is Fearful, which I'm currently in the middle of. I say in the middle of, I've only just started it, but I'm currently started. So this book would get us to the end of the series. We have Chasing Hearts by Leah Jack. Finish the series. We have One of Us is Back from the One of Us is Lying trilogy, again to finish off the series. And then we have the last 2 books in the summer series, which is The Summer I Destroyed You and The Summer I First Saw You by Elizabeth O'Rourke. And both of those books are quite easy to read and relatively short. We've got Moonville and One of Us is Back on audiobook, and then the Hearts one as well, I'm hoping is going to be quite easy to get through. Fearful at the moment I haven't got into yet. I think I might. We're going away this weekend. I'm going up to London. I think I'm not going to take this one with me, which I know sounds crazy because I've started it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my Kindle, because on my Kindle I have the 2 summer books which are easy to get into, and also I've got the Hearts books, so they're all easy reads. So if I am out and we're on the tube or whatever, I can read a couple of pages and then stop and pause where I am. Same with Moonville, I've got that on audiobook, and I'm actually going to Bristol next weekend, and with that I drive up on the Friday, I drive back on the Sunday, so that will all be part of this vlog as well. So I've got Moonville and One of Us is Back on audiobook, plus with all my walks and everything that I have going on, I have ample time to get some of my series down. And then if we can get that down to 10, then obviously throughout the rest of the year we can carry on chipping away at some of the others, because a few of the other series as well, I've only got like 2 or 3 books left, and the series like I Heart I want to get done by the end of the year as well. I will say out of the 49 series, I've DNF 2, so 2 of them I'm not going to be carrying on with, which is absolutely fine. And I've got 6 which aren't finished. They're not finished series, but out of those 6 that aren't finished, I've got 4 of them which I've completed, and that then leaving only 2 of them that I'm not up to date with. So the ones that I've got, the ones that I haven't finished, I have got, or that aren't finished yet, you've got the Dream Harbour series, which we've got the novella which is coming out. We don't know when, we don't have a UK release date yet. It's out in the Netherlands now, but there's no UK release date yet, so that will probably come out at some point towards the end of the year, but it's only 90 pages, so I'm not too worried about that. And then we have the next book in the series coming out in May next year, so that's not to worry about. We have the Cryptic Trinity, which after reaching out to the author of that and her not being sure, her having to change some things around in terms of when timings is coming out, that's not going to be released anytime soon, I believe. Then we've got the next ACOTAR book, which again, we don't know when that is coming out, but that's at least another book hopefully releasing next year. And we've also got Heartstopper 6, which is due to come out next year as well. And then the books that I've not caught up with yet, you've got Magnolia Parks, which we know we've got at least another 2 Daisy Hates books to come out for, and Moonville, I believe there will be another 2 books because you're following 4 sisters, and so I believe that each sister's going to get a book, but I'm not sure. It might be a duology. So those are kind of the series that I'm in at the moment. I am hoping to carry on with some of the other series as well and maybe get down to less than 10, but I also do think I'm gonna have to have a big Kindle focus next year because a lot of these are on KU, which is kind of what makes it difficult because a lot of them are on KU, and so they're all like on my Kindle. So when I'm doing or in fact actually a lot of them, then I don't own the rest of them. So when I'm doing my TBR videos, I go off my physical TBR. So I think I might have to do maybe a spinner wheel for next year and focus on my Kindle TBR. So maybe do like a 70-40, 70-30 split of how I do my TBR. But I'm gonna check back in when I've got some more updates. Like I say, our tentative TBR for this video is the summer book, One of Us is Back, Heart, Powerful or Fearful, and the Moonville one. Are we gonna read all 6 books in this video? I don't know, but my aim is to get to that point by the end of the month, so we shall see. I am not doing badly on my actual October TBR, so I've got 2 books left for that one. One of them is the Annie Valentine book 1, so if we read that, it won't go towards our series goal of trying to get it down because it's the first book of a 7-book series, but it does go towards our overall series goal of having 52 books left to read of all the series that I'm in the middle of. However, the second book on our TBR is Chasing Hearts, which does go towards that goal, so we should get that TBR down to at least 1, and then we've got some of the others. So I'm very intrigued, I'm very excited, and yeah, I'm going to check back in when we've got some updates. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry for the rambly introduction. I don't know what. I'm hoping I can cut it down for you. I am going to film about 4 clips for this video, sat right here in the same outfit. When you see them, pretend you don't. I am going to try and spread them out a little bit across the video. But I feel like the first one I'm going to start with is a book that I read first, which was... I've forgotten the name of it. It's the second book in the Moonville series. I'll put a picture up here so you guys can see it. But second book in that. This book, we are following the second sister. I want to say Zelda, but I might be wrong. So if I'm wrong, I'll put it up on the screen. We are following the second sister, and she does not believe in magic. So the sisters all own this magic shop in this town, but the second sister doesn't believe in magic, and she is come back to town finally because she struggles with PMDD. So that's got quite good representation in here. It doesn't necessarily go into the condition, but it does mention it and about her struggles with it. And she comes back to the town and she starts to see these things happening and starts to teeter the line of, is magic real or not? And you're kind of following her journey with another character. Obviously it's a romance, so it's a male character. What I will say is in the first book, a prophecy was stated that once there's 3 sisters that aren't in love, and once one of them finds love, they're all going to find love within the same year. So obviously the first book was following the first sister that fell in love, the second book's following the second sister, and then I'm guessing we're going to get a third book with the third sister in love in it. And so in this book, you're following the journey of the second sister coming to terms with magic, whether she believes it's true or not, whether she can help other people with magic, and coming back to terms with living back in her kind of hometown with her sisters, which she's run away from, as well as getting quite a decent romance. What I will say, I listened to this book driving to and from London last weekend. Last weekend for me, it's not going to be last weekend for you because I'm filming like so far in advance at the moment. But I listened to it and fell asleep quite often. So I can tell you, I know like the gist of the story. I gave it 3 stars. It's nothing special. It didn't keep me gripped to keep me awake, if that makes sense. But it's nothing special. I did, however, enjoy it, and I did listen to the majority of it I think actually I listened to quite a bit of it back home as well when I was up and about and walking around. So I listened to the majority of the romance and obviously the main parts like towards the end, not really the story building, which is why I don't know their names. I know the guy's name, but I don't know the gal's name. So I think it's Zelda. I really do think it's Zelda because I kept thinking about the game. But I think it was an okay book. I didn't love the first book. That trajectory is kind of carried on. It's a 3-star. It's middle of the road. If you like cozy fantasy, you will probably like this book. It's very cozy vibes. There's not high stakes in it really at all. There's an element of exploration and adventure, but again, not really high stakes exploration and adventure. I don't really like fantasy really, so I'm dipping my toe in fantasy at the moment. And this one, although classed as fantasy, it's very much feels like a real world. You know how sometimes you go and you see those kind of witchy shops, like, or witchy or wizardry shops, kind of like a dark shop. That's what I imagine their shop to look like. So in my head, it feels like a real life town with these like magical elements in it. So it feels more kind of magical realism. It's not, it is very like fantasy magic heavy, but it feels more real world. So it's quite cozy. It's quite an easy read. Like I say, I drifted in and out of the story a little bit and didn't get confused with where I was or what was going on. So that says a lot. But yeah, 3 stars, really enjoyed it. I say really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I think it was an easy read. Definitely an easy one to kind of put on in the background whilst like walking or whatever. Or even just an easy one to read in the evening, you know, when you're drifting off to sleep and you want that kind of evening book. But yeah. And now you're going to hear about the next book from the same place. I'm sorry. I go on a rant in this edit, so spoilers ahead. If you don't want to listen to this, thank you so much. I will put a timestamp to the next book here because it does spoil Summer Fearless for you. So if you don't want any spoilers, go here and you can bypass this book. Okay, so as I said in the Moonville one, we're staying in the same place. I've got my phone front camera facing me because I don't have a way of looking at whether I'm in the shot on the other one. So I don't even have my watch on, which is not how I normally do it. So I'm going to flash the cover real quick, but it is going to be the wrong way around. I'm sorry. I'm reading Fearful by Lauren Roberts. I am on page 135, which is chapter 13, which is about 46% of the way through. Now, I bought this book so excited. I was obsessed with Fearless. I loved it. I read it in a day. And it felt like a chore, but that's because it's a long book, not because of the storyline. I loved it. And as soon as we found out we were getting a kit novella, I was like, I am sat. I'm so excited to read it. So much so that the book arrived and I said to my dad, look, I'm so excited for this book. Take it. When I finish my dissertation, I can have it back. And he was like, yeah, that's absolutely fine. That's what happened. I got it back. Finishing series video. I thought, oh, amazing. This is one of the last books in the series, or it is the last book in the series. Perfect. I can sit down and read it in this vlog. And I know that it's kind of it's a known series. So it'd be an interesting one to read. Now I'm 46% of the way through and I loved Powerless, Reckless and Fearless. I even loved Powerful. Read those all within like a few days. I was hooked, wanted to carry on. Please tell me why I started this book like 3 days ago and I just don't care at all. Like at all. At the moment, if I was to rate it right now, it'd be 2 stars. We're told it's a kit novella. I read Powerless, Reckless, Fearless for Payden and Kai, okay? Their romance, their banter, their love, that's why you read them. And no one else can say it's for the fantasy or for the plot because we've seen that done before. It's for their romance, okay? Everyone agrees. So the novellas are slightly different because obviously they're not following Payden and Kai. However, novella number 1 is following Adina and she was such a lovable, likable character and her romance within that book was just done beautifully. Even though you knew the ending and how it would end from book 1, from Powerless, her story was just so beautifully crafted. It was wonderful. Fearful feels rushed, feels unnecessary, feels marketing without needed, feels cash grab. I will say this, it is marketed to you as a kit novella, okay? It is a kit novella with Mara, who is death. That is what we've been told. Obviously, you meet Kit and Mara. Mara is death. We all know how Fearless ends. I've put the timestamp in there, so if anyone doesn't want to know how Fearless ends, then they should have gone. Obviously, it ends with Kit not being in this world. So we got told this novella was to show us the thought process behind Kit doing what he does and being the way that he is, because obviously he comes off in quite a bad light in the last book. He comes off being a psychopath who hasn't got his life together. So this book is kind of meant to be like a redemption arc, meant to be the love for Kit shown and why he's done what he's done. Please tell me why in every single chapter by death we're learning about Lenny and Blair. I couldn't care less. I literally could not care less. It was alluded to in Fearless that they were together. We kind of got alluded to that they might get their own novella. If it was their own novella, fair enough, because you could really see their romance. We're not. We're seeing odd chapters of Kit and with like no substance, and then the Mara chapters are all her stalking Lenny and Blair and their romance. I couldn't care less. If I wanted a Lenny and Blair romance, I wanted it from a novella from their point of view, from Blair's point of view of being stuck in there, from Lenny's point of view from being like her guard, not a case of someone like a third party watching it. It just doesn't seem right to me. I'm 135 pages in. We've only just got one mention of like a couple mentions of Payden. It makes no sense. Now, what I will say is there was an added detail from the Blair and Lenny scenario that links back to Powerful and Fearless, and I'm guessing that might be how the character got caught up from Powerful, got caught up into Fearless. Fair enough, but no one thought about it. No one cared why he was there. They just knew that there was a link. This book is feeling so redundant. I feel so bad for bashing on it because I love the series like so much, but this book feels rushed. Fearless was such a beautiful book. I loved it. I loved the ending. I didn't think the ending really needed any more detail. I didn't think we needed this novella. However, it was a series and characters that I absolutely adored. And so if you told me, if you think of your favourite book, your favourite series, whatever it is, if someone turned around to you and said you're going to get another little snipping of that book, of those characters, you're always going to eat it up. You're always going to want it, because no matter what you say, no matter how great you think the ending is, like, you love the characters, you love the world, you want to go back to it. Now, I guess the harm with that is that the authors can either write a book, which they never intended to write, but the fans have demanded, or rush a book. And I feel like this has got kind of an element of both. I feel like Lauren Roberts has known that people are going to want more because they love the world so much. And also she knows that this is such a marketable world. She's done well with writing the Powerless series because Kai and Payden are just incredible. So she's done well. The first novella did well because it was written well. However, I feel this one's just been rushed. There are typos. There are actual errors in the book that I've read. I found at least 2, and I'm not one of those people, nitpicky people that find them. And it's just boring. I've got some Spotify hours left. I've got about 4 hours left on Spotify. I've got about 4 hours left in this book, which I listened to on 3 times speed, so it's going to be just over an hour that I've got left of reading. I am going away this weekend. You'll see it all in a vlog coming soon, but I'm going away this weekend, so I've got a few bits to do around the house to get ready, like cleaning and packing and stuff. So I'm going to now pick up the audiobook because I want to get this done before I go away, because I do not want to take the physical book with me. And also, I'm just bored of the story. I'm doing another challenge video next week, which you will either have already seen or will be coming soon. So I don't want to have to still be trudging on with this book because we've seen it, we've done it, it's boring. Yeah, I'm bored. And I never thought I would say that ever, because I love the Powerless series so much, like so much. So I never thought I would turn around here and just say like, it's not that good. But at the moment we're sitting on 2 stars. If it wasn't for the love of the series, I think I'd be contemplating a DNF a little bit more. I am intrigued because I know the characters and I want to kind of see how their ending scene with Kit and Kai comes into this. I would just like, this has been marketed as a Kit book. I would like more of Kit, if that makes sense. I feel like it's just been marketed as it's a Kit novella and actually it's more Lenny and Blair. And I looked on Goodreads earlier without seeing any spoilers, and a few people have said that, like, why have we got this novella when it's like basically Lenny and Blair? And no one wanted that, because like I say, if I wanted it, I would have read it from their perspective. I think their book would have been incredible, but from their perspective, not from like this weird third party perspective. And I'm like, I don't even understand why she's there, because she's death, and death is meant to be only tethered to the souls of the dying, and neither of them are, or are they? I don't know. That's my rant done. It's about a 9-minute rant. That's going to be fun to edit down for you guys. I hope you guys just appreciate the honesty, because I love this series. If you've seen my channel, you know I love this series. I did a whole dedicated vlog to read Fearless, and this ain't it. Hey guys, you join me in the car. I'm on my way to Bristol and I have an update for you. I have a fearful update. I have finished Fearful. Don't panic, I'm stuck in atrocious traffic. So I'm not on my phone whilst, well, I am driving now and I'm in the car, but I'm not kind of in speeding down the road. I didn't set this up while I was speeding down the road, so don't panic. Nothing illegal's happened, I don't think. But anyway, I finished Fearful and I've kind of been on this drive like battling with it, whether it's going to be a 2-star or a 3-star, and I feel like I thought about giving it a 3 stars. I was like, right, okay, why don't I be generous and give it a 3 stars? And then I just was like, no, it does not deserve a 3-star, like, at all. It's 2 stars. So I think a lot of what I said in the last clip counts. The last kind of 50 to 60% did pick up a little bit, and we saw a lot more from Kit's point of view, but obviously that's the part where he is going further towards death. I will say the ending was actually really disappointing. I assumed it would kind of end with more, sorry, it's a bit wobbly, it would kind of end with more of like clarity, and it just didn't. So I feel like that whole novella was kind of pointless. And yeah, I feel like if you're satisfied with Fearless and you're not really into novellas, then I wouldn't bother reading it. My best friend doesn't read novellas, and I'm telling her like continuously, you need to read Powerful, because that novella is so like poignant. But Fearful, don't even bother. Like, literally don't even bother. It didn't redeem any of Kit's qualities for me. It did absolutely nothing to claw back that kind of ending of the book, and I would actually rather have just sat with that ending rather than with the ending that I did get. I mean, it did elicit some emotions towards Kai, which is obviously always nice, but I feel like they're already there anyway. I already love him, so it's fine. Wouldn't necessarily say it's the best book on planet Earth, but it did what it had to do. That's my final update. 2 stars, wasn't the best, wouldn't recommend, but if you're like me and you kind of have to read it to finish off the series, then read it. I picked up the last 60% on audiobook, and to be honest, that was great because I carried on doing my tasks while listening to it. So yeah, not the best. Wouldn't say rush out and read it at all. Like, at all. I don't think it's needed for the story, but right. I'm filming these clips in the order that you're seeing them, but not really, because there's are going to be a couple of other clips like slotted in there for when I finish books. And so we are moving on to One of Us is Dead, I believe. One of us is lying, one of us is back, one of us is dead, I believe. I'll put the cover here. I think I'm right. But I've just come off the Fearful rant that you would have seen, and then you see the ending of the video, the book, which I've not done yet. So I'm in a ranty mood. But One of Us is Dead was actually really good. It was my favourite of the series. In this book, you're following the cast from the first 2 books merged together, and the second book ended with a certain character, and I'm trying to say this without spoiling, but it ended with a character who you never would have seen coming if you've just started the second book. Like, it's not really a spoiler, but it ended with a character getting away with something, and you never would have seen it coming, and he's linked to the other characters. And so there were a few characters that I kind of covered for him. So with that in mind, these characters come back and are kind of the focus for the last book, but I really enjoyed it. So it links back to the other books. You've got chapters from Simon as well, which I thought was really interesting because it does link kind of right back to book 1 and book 2 and the timeline of events. This book kind of follows the same vein. There's another person starting off the game as such and saying that there's no rules, and one of the characters goes missing, gets found, and then they're kind of working out who did that. Another character goes missing, and you're kind of trying to unpick who did it, what's going on, where this has all come from, why someone's doing it, like how they're all linked, why the people that are being taken. It's very intriguing. I will say it's very far-fetched, but in the way that it's YA, if that makes sense. It's kind of YA in the sense that it doesn't make sense, that you kind of you have to suspend your disbelief. Now, sometimes I really struggle with that. This book, for some reason, I really didn't. I thought, oh yeah, kind of makes sense. There's random plot points that come up that tie loose ends that weren't really loose ends that get tied together. fair enough. Like, I just really enjoyed it. I do think it was a really nice way to end the series off. Were the other 2 books needed? No, they could have stuck with book 1, but I understand why Karen did it, because clearly the first book did well, so you're going to profit off of that. But I feel like this is the sign of a series where she has come up with ideas that link the other books together that's so like expertly crafted, because there's random links in there that you've never have seen coming. I wouldn't necessarily say these books are very, oh my goodness, obviously twisty, but they do have certain elements that catch you by surprise, if that makes sense. They're not, I'm gripped, but they are really good and really interesting. And I will say that this one is definitely my favourite in the series. I like how it wraps up. I like the ending, and I do feel like this is a good place to leave the characters now. I feel like everyone is at the point in their journey where they should be for the ending of a story, and I feel it is a very good depiction of the characters, and especially now that a lot of them, the ones that have left high school and gone on to college, are still at college, and then the other ones are just leaving high school. Like, you're at that good kind of point where a YA fantasy, or not fantasy, a YA mystery / thriller should end. It should end when the character's getting that little bit older, because sometimes I found with The Good Girl's Guide to Murder, she was in college trying to write like a YA fantasy, and it just didn't really work, in my opinion. I know quite a few people that enjoyed As Good as Dead. It angered me. If you've seen that video, you'll understand. But this book, I feel like, gave you that third book, tied all the loose ends together, gave you the conclusion that is satisfying, and it's good to leave it there. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. I did think it was the best book in the series, and I would recommend this series to people. If you are a fan of YA mystery thriller, I know for some people as adults it's not their thing, fair enough. I don't think I will be picking up many more YA mystery thrillers. I don't think it's going to be my thing. I think I've got a couple extra Holly Jacksons on my TBR, which I bought on my Kindle, which I will pick up. Other than that, I think I might steer clear unless there's one that's really calling to me. But overall, good series. Final update from this position. Not that you guys will have seen them all in order, but I'm also reading The Summer I Destroyed You. I'm reading that one on my Kindle. So what we found out from this video is I've had an audiobook, a physical book, and a Kindle book all going at once, which is why we've had updates from the same spot, but I have tried to break them up slightly. So I'm reading The Summer I Destroyed You by Elizabeth O'Rourke. And in this book, we are following, can't remember their name. I'm really bad with names, like in real life as well. I'm really bad with names. Anyway, we're following, I can tell you the story, I just don't know their names. So the female main character she's called Emmy. She used to go live in the town that all the books are set in. So this is book 4 in the series, but it is an interconnected standalone. At the moment, we've not seen much of the other characters from the other books. We've seen mentions of them, but not really like spent time with them. So Emmy used to live in this town. She grew up in this town, and the town was not nice to her, and neither was her family. She didn't have a great family dynamic, and the town wasn't very nice to her. Her mum's had surgery. She's had to come back to look after her mum, and she also now runs quite a prestigious construction development firm. Then we're following Liam. I remembered his name. We're following Liam, and Liam has lived in this town, loves this town, absolutely adores kind of the town setting and the historical vibe, and he is a construction worker. He has recently just fallen through a roof or something. He's recently just got injured and has been unable to work, and so he was going to, there's this town hall that they are needing to develop, and he was going to save up the money from all the work that he had going on to develop the town hall and restore it. However, because of this injury, he is now no longer able to do it. Emmy's come in. She wants to buy the town hall and destroy it because she hates the town. She doesn't owe anything to the town. She wants to destroy the town. She wants to make the kind of use the town as revenge for how she got treated. So she's come in with this big development firm. She already has a couple of developments going on. She's living with her mum, who's also having building work done, and Liam is this quite prestigious construction worker within the town. Like, he's well known. So he is working on both projects. He's working on her mum's house, and he's working on one of her other projects. There's another guy that's working on a different project for her as well. So obviously their paths cross. She is very bitchy, hard exterior, hard shell, prickly. That makes sense. So she's very prickly. He will text her and she will just kind of like bite back. And so they both have this kind of infatuation with each other. They both I don't know how to describe it. They're both being kind of like bitchy towards each other, making these comments, but they both have that kind of, I wonder if. But neither of them are acting on it because both of them feel like the other person is being genuine when they're not, or like they're both reminiscing over these text messages and being quite like gooey about it, but neither of them are acting on it because they both feel like the other person doesn't want them to. So it's one of those romances, and I feel like he is such cutesy golden retriever energy because he is so down bad for the town and for the people. So I will say I am enjoying it. It's just, I feel like some of the other books that I've been listening to or reading have been quite intense. Not intense in a bad way, but just a lot to think about. This is such a fluffy romance and they are happy and it's so easy to get along with, and I've been reading it on my Kindle before bed, which has been so nice because I can literally just drift off and there's no worries in the world. I'm not thinking, oh my goodness, I need to know, because it's just a fluffy romance. All of these books in this series, very fluffy, they are spicy, but they're just very cutesy romance vibes, if that makes sense, like spicy cutesy. Yeah. I am hoping to finish it this weekend. I am away this weekend, so I don't always get a lot of reading done when I'm away, but I am hoping to finish it this weekend. I'm going to take my Kindle with me just so I've got something to read while I'm away, and I am excited to finish it. And then once we finish this book, and I think these are the 4 books for the video, we're not going to see any more because I have 2 more books left that I want to get on in terms of for the series goal. I only need to read 2 more books, and I think I might use them for my next week's video. And so we should theoretically, by the end of October, I know you guys are seeing this in November, but like I said, something exciting's coming in December, and so I'm filming a month ahead at the moment. So I'm thinking that by the end of October, we should be finished with our series goal. And then we can kind of focus on some other books for November and December. I will say I'm trying to read in advance for December and get some of those videos and that filmed in advance. So we shall see. Like, November's going to be a lot more reading for December. And then I'm hoping December I can kind of give myself maybe not the full month, but like kind of a month off of reading for videos and just enjoy my reading. And then in January we can come back with a bang and maybe film a bit more real time in terms of videos, or like I think a first couple of videos I've already got planned out and then more sit downy maybe. So we shall see. But I'm gonna go carry on reading and I will check back in with you guys once I've finished. This book will be the end of the video, so once I finish this book, but in real time I'm gonna go carry on reading Fearful, which you would have already seen. Hello guys, you catch me whilst I'm doing my hair, and I also have my tripod set up, so I thought I would just finish off this video because I finished The Summer I Destroyed You. Guys, what book? I actually was away on the weekend and I finished it finally through like the audiobook a little bit because I had a couple of hours of Spotify listening time and I wanted to get it done because this week I've started my random number challenge, and so I needed to get this video done first. And I so enjoyed it. Liam and Emmy are just incredible characters. I like Emmy's kind of character arc and how Liam supports her in her kind of development, and it's a great book if you struggle with it. I guess it could be quite triggering if you struggle with really bad body dysmorphia and having been bullied when you were younger for your weight and your body, so take that into consideration. As a bit of a trigger warning, it does focus a lot on body weight and body image and people's perceptions of you. However, the way Liam tackles that I think is beautiful to read about, and him defending her and stuff. So I really enjoyed it. I think I rated it a 4 stars. It just didn't quite give me that 5-star feel. It didn't quite fully grip me into the story, but I did have a really great time with it and with our characters. I'm really looking forward to picking up the last book in the series because I have really enjoyed all the other books. I will say I think that was my favourite one. I believe I rated that one the best. From what I can remember about the others, that one, like if I was to say now, that one's probably my favourite one, but I read the others like a while ago, so could also just be timing in that. But yeah, really, really good and gets me closer to my goals. So obviously at the start of this week, I think we had 6 books left until we reached our 10 series left by the end of the year goal. We didn't reach that goal, but we are now only 2 off. So, and spoiler, I've already started Chasing Hearts by Leah Jack. I can't remember what order these videos are going up in. So you might have already seen that, but if not, it's going to be in my random numbers video. So I've already started that, and then I've got the last book in the summer series to read. And I'm just enjoying myself so much with like my reading this month. I didn't think I was going to, because I had a lot of romances on the TBR, and obviously it's October. I wanted to read a few thrillers, but I think we are doing okay with that for now. I'm really enjoying it, and obviously November means reading for Christmas, which is so exciting. So when you guys are watching this, I'm obviously filming for December. I am gonna try and I don't know how I'm gonna do it come the new year, if I'm gonna keep it this way. I have found actually it's taken a lot of pressure off my shoulders in terms of reading, but I think what I might do is I might start filming my TBRs in advance as well, so you see kind of, so I film like my February TBR in January and read for February in January following that TBR, because I feel like at the moment you're seeing my October TBR was the books that I read in October, but you're not seeing the videos for them until November. I don't know. Let me know, like comment down below whether you're happy with this way of doing it, or whether you think I should also start filming the TBR videos in advance. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry for ending the video in a crazy way. I've just got the last of my hair to curl and get ready for the day, but I will speak to you guys next time, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, bye guys, bye.